sing along and you're teaching us why you washed our feet. The greatest must become the least. 'Cause there's power in these things we do them to remember you, how we called out and you came through for us. Oh, we remember your love. You blessed and broke the bread. You gave us a way to taste what you said, 'cause you poured out everything. And you never wanted us to forget the promises we heard, and how you give and keep your word. So there's power in these things we do them to remember you, how we called out and you came through for us. Oh, we remember your love. But even though we sometimes fall asleep, while we watch and while we wait, we'll be making preparations for the celebration day. So there's power in these things we do them to remember you, how we called out and you came through for us. Oh, we remember your love. Oh, we remember your love.
Hello friends, welcome to Sunday School. My name is Allison and I'll be teaching a lesson this week. In our story last week, we discussed Zacchaeus and how he was able to change his ways by reaching out to Jesus. This week, we will begin the season of Lent by discussing Jesus washing his disciples' feet. In the coming weeks, we will be discussing some very familiar stories, but we'll discuss them a little out of order as we approach Easter and the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. Before we jump into our Bible story this week, let's see what's in our Wonder Box. Can you guess what's in the Wonder Box this week? It's a cloth. What does a cloth have to do with Jesus washing his disciples' feet? Today, we are exploring the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet. As Jesus and his disciples are having a meal, Jesus does something unexpected. He kneels down and begins to wash the feet of his friends. This act typically is something done by servants, so the disciples are surprised. Peter says to Jesus, "No, you will never wash my feet." This is a strong response. But Jesus, who soon will be led to his death, has a purpose behind his actions. He wants his friends to remember him by his example of serving others. We too can serve like Jesus. This story reminds us of Jesus' life and of who we are called to be as his disciples. Many churches use this story during Lent or Holy Week and hold a foot washing service. When we participate in this ritual, we remember Jesus and answer his call to follow his example. Now, you may see this practice as a yucky job and not something we do today, but this act of service is comparable to helping a neighbor take out the trash, caring for someone who is sick, or helping a friend clean up a spill. Through the story, we will know and see that we are serving like Jesus when we do unexpected acts of love. Now, before we read the Bible verse, let's get up and move with a song by UMC called Shine and Serve.
God made me a part of His story. I will live all for His glory, every day and every night. God made me a part of His story. I will live all for His glory, every day and every night. So come on, we're gonna go change the world. Come on, let's go tell every boy and girl. Come on, get ready, let's go. So let's all shine and serve. Let's all give and love to the whole world knows Jesus loves them. So let's shine and serve. God made me a part of His story. I will live all for His glory, every day and every night. So come on, we're gonna go change the world. Come on, let's go tell every boy and girl. Come on, get ready, let's go. So let's all shine and serve. Let's all give and love till the whole world knows Jesus loves them. So let's all shine and serve. Let's all give and love till the whole world knows Jesus loves them. So let's shine and serve. We can shine, we can serve right here, right here. We can shine, we can serve all over the world, all over the world. We can shine, we can serve everywhere, everywhere. We can shine, we can serve. Come on, get ready, let's go. Let's all shine and serve. Let's all give and love till the whole world knows Jesus loves them. Yeah, let's all shine and serve. Let's all give and love till the whole world knows Jesus loves them. So let's shine and serve.
Welcome back! Before we read the Bible verse, let's get out our wonder mats and wonder figures. Pause the video now to cut out the figure of the heart and place it right by the word love on your wonder mat. When you're finished, hit play. Our story today comes from John chapter 13, verses 1 through 18. It says, before Passover, Jesus and his friends were having a meal. The friends watched as Jesus got up from the table and tied a towel around his waist. Then Jesus poured water into a big bowl. The friends watched as Jesus began to wash their feet. Jesus, what are you doing? Asked Peter. I don't want you to wash my feet. It's the job of a servant to wash feet. It's not your job. You are our teacher. Peter, said Jesus, it is important that I wash your feet. So Peter let Jesus wash his dirty feet. When Jesus finished washing everyone's feet, he asked, Do you understand why I did the job of a servant and washed your feet? I wanted to show you God's love. I want you to serve others like this. Now, let's hear a story from our friend Abigail. We'll be back after the video.
Greetings, friends. I'm Abigail. In our Bible story today, Jesus washes all of his disciples' feet. Their feet were dirty from walking outside because everyone wore sandals. Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, thought this was too strange. He didn't want Jesus to do it at first. Even though washing feet wasn't Jesus' job, Jesus wanted to do this to show care and love. By reading this story, we remember how Jesus loved his disciples. To remember is to think about and not forget our faith. It is important for us to remember so that we follow the awesome example that Jesus lived. We get to be a part of the story by adding new ideas for how to serve and show love. When we think about what Jesus did in this story, we see what faith looks like. Faith looks like helping, serving, and loving. Sometimes doing these things surprises others, but that's not a reason to stop doing them. Last year, during lunch, I noticed there was a kid who was always eating alone. I always ate with my friends, and I wanted him to have friends too. One day, I decided to go and eat with the kid who was alone, and my friends didn't understand. My best friend said, "Why are you doing that?" After a few lunches, my friends wanted all of us to sit together. They realized we could all show love. My new friend now had a whole group of friends. I was able to show Jesus' love at school by making sure everyone had a friend. When we remember that Jesus washed feet, we remember to live with love and to live with faith. No matter who you are, you can follow Jesus' example. We can all love and serve in some way. We won't all wash feet, but we can all do something that shows someone that we care about them. Now it's time for you to wonder.
Hello again. Let's get out our Wonder Cubes and answer a few questions about the passage today. Here's mine. I wonder, what is your favorite part of the Bible story? My favorite part is when Jesus teaches his disciples why he cleaned their feet. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and roll the Wonder Cube a couple of times and discuss the Bible story. When you're ready, press play. This week, we have a new faith word, which is remember, to think about and not forget your faith. Let's wonder together. I wonder, when you think about the word remember, what do you think of? For me, I think of past events that happened in my life. Okay, now it's time for a fun little activity. In the Bible story, the disciples' feet were dirty, and Jesus helped clean them. Can you think of a time when you were dirty? I sure can. Well, today we get to be a little messy. You will need a piece of construction paper, some markers or paint, and your own 2 feet. What you're going to do is trace your 2 feet on the construction paper and color or paint a design within the outline. Your colored feet will signify to the disciples' feet that Jesus cleaned. When you're finished, it should look something like this. Be creative when you do this and have your parents email pictures of your drawings to christianed@gracesiouxcity.org. Remember, have fun while you do this. Be creative. Before we wrap up this week, I wanted to let you know about a super fun activity you will be doing with Emma next week. In the lesson, you will be talking about the Last Supper and discussing the bread and wine. As a fun activity, we will be making our own bread, but you'll need the supplies to make it. The recipe is in the newsletter for this week, but it will also be posted at the end of this video. Thank you for joining me for Sunday School today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.